guys, welcome back to Adventure Camping Tactical Nut here, and today we're going to be talking about pine fire Fatwood. Now these guys were actually cool enough to send this to me so that I could test it out. So I'm really excited about that. And they sent me two different kinds. They sent me this one, which is the Tri-Fire, I think it's called, and then two of the Sandy cookies. Now I know they've already done an upgrade to the cookies, but I still really want to see how these work for myself, and of course I'm dying to give this a try. Now part of this is also my drive of supporting those that you follow on YouTube and Instagram and other social media, because I've been following these guys for a while and I've really wanted to test their stuff out, and just long story short, I talked to him, he ended up sending me some, but I mean, I can already guarantee I'm going to end up buying some anyway. So let's get started. Let's give it a shot, see what we got in here. And I mean, already I like the fact resealable bag, right? This way whatever you don't use you can keep in the bag and use a different time. Because I mean, if you look at this, like right now, right here on top, whole bunch of birch bark, right? We got some wood shavings. Sorry I wasn't in camera, but yeah, big handful of birch bark here. Pull a lot of this out. Jute twine, because we know that stuff catches really easy. And man, you can just see how much resin is in that Fatwood right there. Then of course you got these big chunks of Fatwood in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of this, see how easy it takes to flame, and I'm also going to go ahead and give you a heads up of what I'm going to do within the next couple of days. I'm going to be doing another video in our How to Train Your Child series, and part of that is going to be fire building skills. So I definitely want to save some of this for that, because I think it'll be an excellent way to help teach a child how to start a fire when you have really good fire starting materials. Okay, so let me get the camera set up, put it on the fire pit, and alright, so as you can see here, all I'm using to start off with is this little bit. And right now it's only a little bit of birch bark and a little bit of the pine shavings that came in the bag. I like to see, I love birch bark. I got some birch trees in my neighborhood and I love just going by and snatching some of that stuff off. But let's just give this a shot at first with a fire steel and see how easily it'll catch a spark. Let me set this on here and do it if I was in the woods. Yep. Pretty quick and easy, as you can tell. And that stuff just lights right up. And I mean, then of course, if you wanted to, and if you really had to, if you were really in an emergency, man, you could really just burn these, you know, these chunks like this, and they'll burn all by themselves really well. But yeah, we can just take this and down a little bit. Because this stuff, and look how quickly this stuff catches fire. I mean, wow. Now this is what I'm talking about. I mean, this is, if you ever have any problems or any questions, or you're not very good at finding different types of wood that will burn really well. If you live in an area that, you know, if you live in more like the Midwest, a lot of the desert environments, you're not going to have a lot of pine trees, or any sometimes. Luckily, I live in the South, so we have a lot. But sometimes it's nice to know that you can just carry the fire with you in a bag, basically. I mean, because you saw how easy it caught a flame with just a few strikes of the fire steel. I don't know, that's a win. I mean, that little teeny tiny bit caught a fire that easily. And it's burning long enough that if I wanted to build a whole fire, I definitely could, because this is still burning long enough. I still have, I mean, that's a lot of fires, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot. You could really go to town with this. And for the price, I mean, wow, I mean, it's really awesome prices. So check them out online. Let me take a break real quick and then we'll demonstrate the Sandy cookie. Alright, now, the Sandy cookie. If you look at it, it looks a lot like an actual cookie. Now it has cotton here in the middle. It does come with instructions. So as you can see here, how to use, if you move to the top of the cookie, move the top of the cookie over slightly, fluff the white cotton, spark and enjoy. So that's what we're going to do. Fluff that up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is, I was just filming a different video for a different kind of fire starter. I let that other fire starter boil some water. But what I'm going to do is put this Sandy cookie into this little bio stove and then see if I can use this to boil water all by itself. If I just saw that I wasn't left with any other options, is this going to be a good viable option for heating up water, cooking your food, or purifying water if you had to, other than, starting a fire? Move this up. Let me do this. There we go. Wow. Alright, so that's quick. Alright, now what I'll do, let this get going a little bit, then I'll sit the water on it and we'll kind of get a good time and a good feel for how long it'll burn for, and if you could cook with it if you had to. Let me reset my timer. As we can see here, I think that's burning well enough to get it started. Alright, now let me back the camera up. And you see that little bit of fire starter that I used back there? It's still going, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that was almost a tiny fire in and of itself. That's impressive. I can't wait to get baby Glock in on this. I think she'll enjoy the fire building skills. Up until now, I've always done it. She's done one fire so far. We were up in the mountains. But I think going through a whole good instructional would be good for review on the Buck Companion coming this week. Stay tuned. Alright, so once again, as to not bore you by watching water boil, I will check back with you in just a minute. Alright, just so you can get an idea of what it looks like while it's burning. I mean, there's no way this cookie would not be able to get a fire started. I mean, that is a large flame coming off of it. Right now, we've been going for 3 minutes, 8 seconds. Now, I didn't let this water cool down completely after the last test that I was using it for, so I threw a few cubes of ice in it just to kind of give it a quick cool down, a little minor. But that's not, I'm not looking for burn time on this, or how fast it will boil water. But if you look at that flame, it wouldn't take a long time anyway. My real goal in this right here is actually just to see how long it'll burn for, because obviously producing a flame like that, that'll start any fire you could imagine. I mean, there's nothing, you could use wet wood with this. Alright, back with you in a minute. 6 minutes, and looks like it has no chance of burning out just yet. I think that thing's got a while to go. Right, looks like we're in 8 minutes, still get to size that flame. Yep, still impressed. Alright, oops, where's the camera? You can see where we're at now. Flame still going really well. What I'm going to do during this time is I'm also, if you really wanted to make Fatwood last and not use up your resource really quickly, one of the things that you can do, which is what I'm doing over here, is just use your knife to scrape off some shavings. And so I'm going to do this for, get a minute, get a little pile. And then show you another reason why Fatwood is so awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, after just using this stuff, just this little bit, I'm ordering some. I'm ordering some probably today. If I'm not mistaken, if what I saw right on Instagram, he is running a sale up through Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully I'll get this video up tonight so you'll have enough time to order some. Smoking on there. Let's try the see, look at that. And that was just a little bit of shavings. Another reason why Fatwood is so awesome. Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Over 20 minutes now. Oops, sorry. And that thing is still going. Now, what I'm going to do, final thoughts first, and then I will annotate how long this thing actually burned for. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm impressed. I am seriously impressed. I can't get over how long that little thing has burned. I mean, give you a quick size. I mean, that's my hand. This thick. I mean, but it is just saturated with resins, and you can see shavings, pine shavings, scrapings. Oh man, I mean, that thing is just heavily infused. And obviously extremely effective. So, final thoughts on Pine Fire Fatwood. Let's just say, if you're watching this video, well, don't stop watching the video. Just open up another tab, keep this playing, go to Pine Fire Fatwood, and buy you some. As I mentioned earlier, I can't even begin to tell you how many fires are probably in this bag. If you were in a true emergency and you had this with you, you could just burn the bag and just burn the whole thing. And I mean, that thing's going to burn for a long time, or either at least give you enough opportunity to dry out enough of other wood that you have found to get a great fire going. I mean, this stuff is incredible. And even though I live in the South, sometimes when you're outdoors, easy is the way to go. I mean, you don't always want to spend a ton of time looking for fire tinder, you know, so you can, you know, guarantee yourself a fire that night. So yeah, I mean, great combination of stuff. That birch bark, it catches a flame really easy. The Fatwood, obviously, that burns really easy. The jute twine, same thing. Large chunks, small chunks. I mean, you got the whole gambit of everything that you need. Guys, get you some. I'm gonna buy more. Love it. Like I said, I'll annotate how long this thing keeps going for, because we're at 22:38 and still going. Alright guys, hope this helps you in your purchasing decisions of finding a good source of fire tinder, because this is it. And he has a variety of stuff that you can buy. Just the big chunks, the smaller packs like these, cookies, ones that come in a tin. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff. So check them out. Go look at them. Follow them on YouTube. Follow them on Instagram. And in the meantime, be prepared. Have fun. Okay. just because I would start thinking maybe somebody won't believe this, but holy crap. 32 minutes. Look at that. 32 minutes. You could still start a fire with that if you needed to. Easily. So when you get the real time or the final time, believe it.